I hope so. Everyone is good, everyone is fit and fine. So we have started off with this chapter, manufacturing industries, and till now we have covered about what is manufacturing, then what are its importance, about agro-based industries, how it contributes to the national economy, and so on. So now in today's lecture we are going to move forward and we are going to discuss about the mineral-based industries. So today's topic that we are going to covering will be, first of all, we'll get to know about what are these mineral-based industries. Then we are going to talk about iron and steel industry, aluminium smelting, chemical industries, fertilizer industries, cement industries. So these will be the industries that we are going to talk about today and discuss what are their features, what are their challenges that they are facing currently, and similar related topics to that. So I hope so you are carrying your book, notebook and pen with you to note down the notes. It is really important that you should side by side write these notes. It is going to help you eventually to maintain the record as well. जब आपको याद करना होगा तो it is going to eventually make it easy for you to learn from these particular notes. So now we can start off with this lecture. So first of all, that is the topic that we are going to be discussing are these mineral-based industries. So what are these mineral-based industries? In my previous lecture only, I have talked about what are these mineral-based industries. So industries that use minerals or we can say that metal as raw material are called mineral-based industries. It is there written in your book as well that the industries which use minerals and metals as raw material are called mineral-based industries. Now, can you name some of these industries that fall under this particular category? So, what kind of category industries that we can categorize into these mineral-based industries? So, first of all, these are few of the industries that we can count on in these mineral-based industries. The first one is iron and steel industry. So the name itself can rectify that what iron and steel means, because it is almost made of these minerals and mineral items only. Then we have aluminium smelting. So what is smelting? That we will discuss later. Then we'll talk about chemical industry, fertilizer industry, cement industry, automobile industry, IT and electronic industry. So few of the topics in these are not particularly that important because it is not a particularly part of this particular chapter, but we are still going to discuss because if some way or the other it came up in the exam, so eventually you can write it down. So I am just making notes for each and every industry here. So it's better you should just write it down about these industries as a whole. So the first industry that we are going to talk about today is going to be iron and steel industry. So the iron and steel industry is kind of the basic industry when we talk about all these mineral-based industries. So in this, it can be categorized into heavy, medium और light industries. ये तीनों categories में से किस में भी आ सकता है, because steel is a needed thing in manufacturing in any sort of industries. Like machinery तो हर जगह चाहिए होती है, कंस्ट्रक्शन में हो गया या फिर आपके मेडिकल में हो गया, डिफेंस में हो गया, इक्विपमेंट्स बनाने में हो गया, गुड्स बनाने में हो गया, सारी चीज़ों में मशीनरी यूज होती है और मशीनरी से आयरन एंड स्टील इंडस्ट्री से बनाते हैं. सो दैट्स व्हाई इट इज़ वन ऑफ द, मतलब हम इसको किसी भी कैटेगरीज में हम इसको काउंट कर सकते हैं. इट कैन बी हैवी, इट कैन बी मीडियम और इट कैन बी लाइट. नाउ like here are few of the things that we are going to talk about. So first of all, this industry is called as basic industry. Why we call it as a basic industry? Because it provides raw material to many other industries. So steel and iron and steel industry is one of the industry which is providing raw material to every other industries, because machinery has been used in every other industry nowadays. So like other industries, like if you talk about like machine as tools, ट्रांसपोर्ट इक्विपमेंट, कंस्ट्रक्शन मटेरियल एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा। सो हर एक चीज़ को बनाने के लिए मशीनरी तो लगती है, और मशीनरी जो होती है अगर हम देखे जाए तो मतलब वो बनती है ये आयरन स्टील से। तो आयरन स्टील इंडस्ट्री जो भी मशीनरी बनाते हैं, दे आर एक्सपोर्टिंग देम एज अ बेसिक raw material to these other industries as a machine, as tools, transport equipment, construction material, etc. etc. Now it is also called as heavy industry because raw materials like iron ore, coal, limestone are very bulky in nature. So this industry is quite heavy because they are having a very heavy kind of machinery they are using and selling it off as well to other industries. So that's why we can say that it's a kind of a very heavy industry because the raw material it is being included is quite strong and heavy, that is iron ore, coal, limestone, because as we the nature of these particular material is quite very bulky and heavy. So eventually जो weight भी होता है वो machineries का, it is quite heavy. So most of these steel plants are located in Chota Nagpur region. Now if you all know that Chota Nagpur region, why it is more famous there, because Jharkhand is one of the place जहाँ पे the most amount of minerals मिलते हैं. So why it is located there, the best reason I can give you that Jharkhand is one of the best place जहाँ पे mineral availability होती है. Then it is Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand and Madhya Pradesh. These three places are the one major places are the one जहाँ पे मिनरल्स मिलने के सबसे ज्यादा चांसेस होते हैं. सो दे आर एक्सट्रैक्टिंग एंड फ्रॉम माइनिंग एक्टिविटीज ऑल दीज मिनरल्स. सो दैट्स व्हाई वी कैन से दैट कि जो रॉ मटेरियल वहीं पे उनको मिल रहे हैं, तो दैट्स व्हाई जो स्टील प्लांट्स है उसके आसपास ही होंगे. तो दैट्स व्हाई these steel plants are located in the Chota Nagpur region, which is nearby to Jharkhand place. Now today these steel industries in India are also facing many problems. Like any other industry, they are also facing many problems. So what are these problems we can like talk about? So first of all, the first problem, that is the high cost of production. So as you all know, like these mineral based industries होते हैं, जो स्टार्टी जो रॉ मटेरियल को होता है वो माइनिंग एक्टिविटी से होता है. तो माइनिंग एक्टिविटी is very expensive, मतलब kind of very expensive. It needs labor, it needs equipments, machineries to like extract all the minerals from the underground soil conditions. Then if we talk sorry, if we talk about if these raw materials and then transported into making some machineries and all that, so the cost that it is giving, it is very high. So if the production cost is going to be so high, what kind of profit you are going to get? So the first problem in these iron and steel industries is that they are like paying so like they are expensing so much of things. So that's why the production cost is very much. So the first rule of a business is that your production cost should be least. But here they are facing many high cost because of these activities. Then there is limited availability of coking coal. So basically coking coal is the one from where they can extract the maximum iron steel material, all these iron ore and coal that is much needed to make these machineries and tool equipments. So these are very limited now. It is not that much. अगर निकालना है तो बहुत ज़्यादा ज़मीन को एक्सट्रैक्ट करके हमें वो मिनरल्स निकालने पड़ते हैं. So which is very difficult. अब जो मतलब अवेलेबिलिटी है दैट इज क्वाइट लिमिटेड. पहले होती थी बहुत ज़्यादा रेंज में, बट नाउ इट इज़ वेरी लिमिटेड. So that is one of the major problems that they are facing. Then there is also low productivity of labor. So it is being observed that also that the laborers are not working very efficiently or giving their 100% as because due to some their own reasons why. But their like productivity towards their work is not that much efficient. Like if they can produce 100 items in one day, they are producing just 10 to 20 items. So if they are managed properly, they can give their 100%, they can give a lot more than a usual amount they can give to. Then there is certainly irregular supply of energy. So obviously the बाकी सारे industries में भी they face this problem. Iron and steel and iron industries, they also face this same problem about this irregular supply of energy. Now if we talk about the raw materials, they are found only in a certain pocket of India. As I just told you that most of the minerals are found majorly in Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh. So these are few of the states जहाँ पे उनको मिल सकते हैं. It is and in other part of the country, मतलब in other parts of the states as well, बहुत ही limited है. So if the raw material is going to be limited, how they are going to produce a lot of amount of these iron and ore industry. So उसके लिए सबसे पहले तो raw material उनको चाहिए होगा. अब वो ही limited होगा, so how they are going to work. Then there is poor infrastructure like transport and communication, etc. So the transport facilities are also not that efficient that we can say that. I'm really sorry. So there is very poor infrastructure like transport and communication also. So these are few of the reasons that the steel industries are facing in India. Now, why is the iron and steel industry located in the peninsular India? So you know about the peninsular region that is there in the India. So first of all, why these iron and steel industries are located in peninsular India? If you got such a question, you can write these points. These are very important, and this is a very important question as well. So good and more raw material. So as I told you before as well, the peninsular area is in the center, in the central area of India. So there is a lot more good and more raw material that is available in this region, because there is large quantity of quality iron. मतलब जो सबसे बेस्ट क्वालिटी अगर आपको आयरन एंड स्टील की मिलेगी वो पेनिसुलर इंडिया में मिलेगी. So there is an availability of good and more raw materials like large quantities of quality iron and steel which is available in the peninsular India. Then there is power resources. So the resources that they are getting, they are having the जो main चीजें उनको चाहिए होती हैं to maintain these industries, that is coal, oil and water power are available in the peninsular India. So major things that they require is the power resources, and they are available in these particular regions, which is like coal, oil and water power. These are quite much available in the peninsular India. Then there is skilled labor. Skilled labor means the kind of labor they required for these kinds of activities. They find it very easily. They are skilled and they work in a very cheap way. So cheap and skilled labor is available in these particular regions. It can be also hired from Bihar, Odisha, West Bengal and MP. Besides, skilled labor is also locally available. Locally it is available, but still rest of the part of the states also people come out to for some work in other states कि उनको कुछ काम मिल सके, like from UP, basically UP, Bihar, Odisha sides. These migrant laborers, they come to these particular states for some work. So there is certain availability of these local laborers, and apart from these skilled laborers, there is certain availability of these local laborers as well. Now the nearest to the market. So basically the main steel and iron markets are nearby. So it is one of the benefit as well to them that these large industrious markets are available in this peninsular India. Then there is port facilities as well in nearby to these places. So they are available to export these iron and steel manufactured goods to one place from the other with these port facilities. So if you got certain this question that why is the iron and steel industry located in peninsular India only, so you can write these points. So there is 5 points. If it comes in 3 or 5 point marks, you can write this answer. Now this is the map that you also have to do in your notebook. You can take any political map, and this is basically for the iron and steel plants. So the heading you have to give to this particular map is that iron and steel plants. So from this इसमें बहुत सारे places दे रखे हैं. You can see in your book as well. There are certainly a lot of places that are given. You can write any 5 places. इनमें से आपको कोई 5 प्लेसेस लिखने हैं अपने मैप में एंड just do this map and paste it in your classwork notebook. So this map you have to do. So if we talk about what are these places, so Vijayanagar, if you see that नीचे में Vijayanagar is there, Patharvi, Salim, then there is ऊपर जमशेदपुर, बोकारो, गोनपुर, दुर्गापुर. ये इनमें से कोई भी स्टेट यू कैन, विशाखापट्टनम, इनमें से कोई भी 5 जगह आपको लिखनी है अपने मैप में. ठीक है, जैसे इसमें दे रखा है यू हैव टू डू सिमिलरली द सेम वे. नॉट यू डोंट हैव टू चेंज एनीथिंग इन इट. जस्ट यू हैव टू गिव द टाइटल टू दिस पर्टिकुलर मैप दैट दीज आर द आयरन एंड स्टील प्लांट इंडस्ट्रीज. ओके, नाउ वी आर गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट द एल्यूमिनियम स्मिटिंग. तो इसको स्मिटिंग हम ये इसलिए कहते हैं क्योंकि basically all these aluminum smelting is one of the second important industry in India. If we talk about it, one of the second most important industry in India. These in these kind of plants they melt all these extracting things and they make other kind of products like bauxite. They make aluminum workers, steel things, and like they melt all these things and extract all the things out of it. So now if we talk about the features of this aluminum smelting, so it is the second most important metallurgical industry in India, and it is very light. अब हमें जैसे देखा जाए iron and steel industry are quite heavy, they are counted in the heavy one. Now aluminum smelting is very light, resistant to corrosion and a very good conductor of heat, and it is malleable and it becomes strong when it is mixed with other metals. So you must have studied this in your physics as well about this particular thing. So now it is also used to manufacture aircraft, utensils, wires. It has gained popularity as a substitute of steel, copper, zinc and lead in a number of industries. And aluminum smelting plants in the country are located mostly in Odisha, West Bengal, Kerala, Uttar Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu. And in 2008 and 9, India was the one who produced over 15.29 lakhs million tons of aluminium. Now bauxite is the raw material that is used in the smelters. Is a very bulky, dark reddish colored rock, and it is a very regular supply of electricity and an assured source of raw material at minimum cost are the 2 primary factors for location of the industry. So these are few of the points if you got to write about this particular industry. So first of all, that you can write it down that it is the second most important metallurgical industry in India. Now it is very light, it is resistant to corrosion, it is a good conductor of heat, it is malleable and it becomes strong when it is mixed with the other metals. 2 points है बहुत simple है. Third point, it can be used to manufacture aircraft, utensils and wires, and it is gained popularity as a substitute of steel, copper, zinc, lead and in a number of industries. Where it is majorly located, Odisha, West Bengal, Kerala, Chhattisgarh, these you can take it as both. Rest of the point, if you want to write it down, you can write about bauxite that is used as a raw material in this similar very bulky dark reddish colored rock, and it is basically it is helping in regular supply of electricity as it ensures source of raw material at a very minimum cost. So these are few of the points if you want to write in that. Now we are coming to the other industry, that is the chemical industry. So what are these chemical industries? So the chemical industry in India is fastly growing and diversifying. So why it is fastly growing and diversifying? Because a lot of things have been used by these chemical industries, and it is eventually developing because it is helping in developing the other industries as well. Like these agro-based industries are using these chemicals to maintain their organic farms and other things like fertilizers and all these things. So it contributes approximately 3% of the GDP. Basically it is contributing 3% of the GDP, and it is the third largest in Asia, and it occupies the 12th place in the world in terms of its size. So this industry is basically the third largest in Asia, in India, and it occupies the 12th place in the world in terms of its size. Now it comprises both large and small scale manufacturing units. These chemical industries is its own largest consumer. Now if we talk about these जो chemical industries में ये चीज जो बनाते भी हैं ना, they are the one who are their own largest consumer in one month, because the basic chemicals they undergo processing to further produce other chemicals. Now अब जैसे आपने अपने केमिस्ट्री में पढ़ा होगा कि आप एक केमिकल को दूसरे केमिकल्स में मिक्स करते हो, एक चीज को दूसरे में मिक्स करते हो, so eventually it is helping out to make other chemicals. So these basic chemicals undergo and process in further producing these other chemicals that are used in industrial application, agriculture, directly or for these consumer markets. Now what could be the examples of these two chemical industries? First is the organic one, and the second one is the inorganic chemicals. Now what are these organic and inorganic chemical industries? So first is the organic one. It includes petrochemicals, which are used for manufacturing of these synthetic fibers, synthetic rubber, plastics, dyestuffs, drugs and pharmaceuticals. Organic chemical plants are located near oil refineries or petrochemical plants. So you know about what are petrochemicals. These are the one which are used to make these things जो ज़्यादा टाइम तक सस्टेन कर सके, ऑर्गेनिकली वो सस्टेन कर सके, एंड दे आर लेस हार्मफुल. अब उसके अंदर कुछ ज़्यादा ये जो केमिकल्स होते हैं हार्मफुल नहीं होते हैं. You can wear them also, you can put them in your body as well. बॉडी वाटर जैसे डिओड्रेंट्स भी बनते हैं उसमें भी, एंड मेडिसिन भी इन्हीं से कुछ बनती हैं. सो दे आर ऑर्गेनिक बिकॉज दे आर नॉट मच हार्मफुल. So these organic chemical plants are majorly located near these oil refineries, or we can say that petrochemical plants. Now what are inorganic chemicals? So inorganic chemicals, they include sulfuric acid, which is used to manufacture all these fertilizers, synthetic fibers, plastics, paints, dyestuffs, nitric acid, alkalis, soda ash, which is used to make glass, soaps and detergents, paper, and caustic soda. These industries are widely spread over the country. Now inorganic chemicals, they are used in making the products that you can directly like have on you. ये किसी ना किसी प्रोडक्ट में मिक्स आपको मिलेंगे. लाइक आपके सोप में आप देख सकते हो, या फिर फर्टिलाइजर्स में आप देख सकते हो. ये चीजें बढ़ाने में काम आती हैं, विच इज लाइक इसके ड्रॉबैक्स ज़्यादा होते हैं. ऑर्गेनिक केमिकल्स के ड्रॉबैक्स नहीं होते हैं इतने, बट इनऑर्गेनिक केमिकल्स के बहुत ज़्यादा ड्रॉबैक्स होते हैं, बिकॉज इट इज नॉट दैट काइंड ऑफ हेल्दी विच ऑर्गेनिक केमिकल्स आर. So it can be available in these kind of stuff, and these industries are widely spread all over the country. So that is the difference. If you got a difference between organic chemicals and inorganic. So yes, the similarity is that कि ये synthetic fibers और dyestuffs, plastics में दोनों में हैं, लेकिन वहाँ पे वो better कैसे है organic chemicals उसमें कि जो वो है कि आप अगर यूज भी कर रहे हो दैट इज सेफ एंड सिक्योर, उसमें कुछ इतना हार्म नहीं होगा. लेकिन सेम वे इनऑर्गेनिक केमिकल्स आर यूज्ड, यू हैव टू यूज इन अ वेरी स्मॉल अमाउंट, सो दैट इट शुड नॉट हार्म यू इन वन वे द अदर, बिकॉज दे आर वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग. जो कुछ ऐसे केमिकल्स जो हम यूज करते हैं, जैसे सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड हो गया, कुछ भी हो गया, अगर हम ये ज़्यादा क्वांटिटी में ले लें तो इट कैन हार्म और बर्न अ पार्ट ऑफ योर बॉडी एज वेल. सो यू हैव टू यूज देम इन अ वेरी sober way, in a very less quantity. Now we are going to talk about the other industry, that is the fertilizer industry, which is mostly you know about that they use in agro-based industries में इसको हम use करते हैं. Now the first fertilizer plant in India was set up at Ranipur, that is in Tamil Nadu, in 1906. So these fertilizer industry is centered around the production of nitrogenous fertilizers, and at present there are 10 public sector undertakings and 1 in cooperative sector at Hazira in Gujarat under the Fertilizer Corporation of India. Now, who are the distributors and who are the how it is basically what is the production rate of these fertilizers? So, in distribution of the fertilizers are mostly in Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, Uttar Pradesh, Punjab and Kerala. They produce more than half of the total fertilizer that is produced in India. Then Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka are other important producers because of the easily availability of natural gas, and the fertilizer industry is widely spread in the country. Now, what is the production rate? So, India produces about 1 million tons of nitrogenous, 4 million tons of phosphatic and 1.7 million tons of phosphatic fertilizers. The country is required to import potassium फ्रॉम अब्रॉड. तो बेसिकली कुछ ऐसे केमिकल्स भी हैं जो कि उनको अब्रॉड से लाने पड़ते हैं, जो कि इंडिया में नहीं बनते हैं. सेम वे हमारे जो भी कुछ भी बहुत सारे फर्टिलाइजर्स हैं जो हम ट्रांसफर करते हैं अब्रॉड में, क्योंकि वो वहाँ पे अवेलेबल नहीं होते हैं. सो इट्स जस्ट द प्रोडक्शन इज not that kind of a big, but yes, it is good enough to sustain the profit, or it could help in maintaining the national economy. So these are the industries that today we talk about the chemical, fertilizer, iron and steel, aluminium. Now in the next lecture we will talk about the other industries. Now about the homework solution. So I have asked you about the agro-based industries. What is the role of agro-based industries? So the agro-based industries include industries that are related to textiles, sugar, paper and vegetable oil. Now these industries use agricultural products as their raw material. Textile industry is the largest industry in the organized sector. Now I haven't described them briefly, but you can describe them briefly in your own words if you want to. So the types of agro-based industries here are, you can write about cotton, woolen, silk, if you want to, synthetic, jute, sugar. इनमें से आप किसी भी 3 टाइप ऑफ एग्रो-बेस्ड इंडस्ट्रीज के बारे में ब्रीफ में आप लिख सकते हो. मैंने ब्रीफली इसमें लिखा नहीं है, बट if you got a role of agro-based industries, you can to make it a bigger one for 3 or 5 marks, you can write these points in detail. In industries के बारे में you can write in detail. जो मैंने आपको लास्ट लेक्चर में जो नोट्स दिए थे, यू कैन राइट दोज पॉइंट्स आल्सो इन दीज टेक्सटाइल, लाइक कॉटन टेक्सटाइल में, शुगर में अगर आपके पास आ गया तो सिमिलरली यू कैन राइट दीज पॉइंट्स. Now the homework that I want to assign you in this particular lecture is, why is iron and steel industry called the basic or key industry? Explain. So you have to tell why is the iron and steel industry called the basic or key industry. You have to explain in brief, not a small one. You have to explain in brief. You have to tell every point. We have discussed it today as well, so you can write those points as well. Okay. So if you have any doubt, anything you are not able to understand, you can ask me in the online class. Okay. So thank you so much class for listening. Just take care of yourself.